Hello there. In this tutorial, we will show about trusting. So, what is trusting? Actually, trusting created between two different domains, uh, so that user of two different domain will able to access corresponding domains, corresponding domains from domain client computers. Uh, Actually, this circumstance is created when two domains decided to merge with each other. They decided to uh, create a partnership so that then the user of those particular domain will start accessing each other's computer, will start accessing their respective domains with different uh, domain associated. For example, this Tech Engineer TV user, another classes user actually uh, access another class domain from Tech Engineer TV's client computer, and Tech Engineer TV's user actually able or access another class's domain user, a domain client. So this is what exactly happens, that a corresponding user, for example, Tech Engineer TV's user, uh, access Tech Engineer TV's working from another class's client computer. So this is what the exact thing is, so that another classes users can access the everything of Tech Engineer TV, and Tech Engineer TV's user can access uh, another class's client computer and can see what they have. So merger happens, and two networks, two domains actually came with each other. Uh, they uh, form a partnership. Users of those domain can use their respective domains with each other's domain client computers. It's a really tricky thing, but very interesting thing. And normally these things happen when two companies merge with each other, but the environment remains same. So that time, for example, a worker of Tech Engineer TV wants to access Android classes domain, and Android classes user have to work on Tech Engineer TVs. So what exactly we need to do is first we need to set up this IP address, DNS, and the ADNS. We have to put the additional DNS IP. So IP of Tech Engineer TV will be on additional domain. For another classes, it will be additional DNS, and another classes DNS will be additional DNS for Tech Engineer TV. So we have to make thing each other, because Tech Engineer TV and other classes both are a DNS itself. So we have to make each other additional DNS of each other's domain. So first, let me show what entry we have to do in an ICF server. So local area connection, you can find the IP address of Tech Engineer TV is 192.168.1.100, and the preferred DNS uh, is 192.168.1.100, and additional one is another class's DNS, which is 192.168.1.200. Same with the another classes domain. You find the NIC. Uh, the IP address is 192.168.200. The preferred DNS will be 200, but Tech Engineer TV's DNS will be the additional DNS of another classes. So same the 7 machine, the client of Tech Engineer TV, the user of Tech Engineer TV will have the same IP address will change to 150, and the gateway will be 100, and preferred DNS will be 100, but additional DNS as usual, like as a domain, will be 200. So same the XP, which is a client of Android classes, and the properties will be the NIC. The IP address will change to 250, gateway will be 200, preferred DNS will be 200, but additional will be 250. This is what the pattern we are using. Obviously, it will be different with your cases. So this goes to administrative tools, Active Directory domain and trust. This is what the wizard we will have to configure, and this option you find the techengineer.tv. Right click on properties, go to the properties. You find the option trust. You have the option called new trust, and we have to make outgoing trust and incoming trust. Outgoing for sending the data, incoming to getting the data. Now the trust name you have to make whatever corresponding domain you want to give. So I'm just wants to create a partnership with the androidclasses.com, and the partnership will be with techengineer.tv. Now the trust type, what kind of trust type will we have? External trust or forest trust? So it's a two different scenario. Now external trust means, for example, take a scenario of Google and Facebook. So both, even in the current situation, we can see techengineer TV and Android classes we're having a two different domain, but in real life, for example, google.com and facebook.com merged with each other for something, and they merged their domain too, so that Google's user were able to access from Facebook's network, and Facebook user were able to access Facebook domain from Google's network. So this is what we call a external, and the two different domain came together, and they allow partnership. Now the same forest means if we have google.com and youtube.com, two domain gets merged, but even they are the sister group. Google.com and youtube.com is a sister group, and since it's a sister group, the employees of google.com and youtube.com will be from the same sister group. So if they decide to merge the domain, then there will be no harm, since both are the sister concern with each other. So this is what we actually, the meaning of the two is external and the forest type. So we're doing external trust, forest trust. You can go with the forest trust if your domain is will have the same group. Now direction of the trust. Now either will be two-way, or will be incoming, or will be outgoing. For example, basically what we do here is what is exactly the incoming and outgoing and two-way. techengineer for example, Android classes domain allowed techengineer TV users to access the respective domain from their network. And for example, techengineer TV allowed Android classes users to access Android classes domain from their network. So this is what two partnership created, but it would be a one way. Either it will be from incoming or will be outgoing. Either you allow your the opposite domain to access their domain from your network, or you allow or respective domain actually allowed you. So it's a one-way thing, either incoming or outgoing. But two-way means not only we are allowed to do an incoming connection, but we are also giving access to of outgoing connection. So this is what two-way thing is. So I'm just hitting next, and size of trust. So either this domain only, if you have a appropriate permission about domains, you can create both sides of the trust relationship. So yes, this domain only, either you have trust on our own domain, or you have a trust on both of the specified domain. Not only you have trusted on this domain, but you trusted on other domain also. And have to give credentials, administrator, password. Actually, we are doing certifications here. You will find the certification logo also there. Now, in the outgoing trust authentication level domain, so I'm just saying domain wide authentication, or you can even do authentication selectively. So I'm just saying domain-wide authentication you can restrict authentication to selective things. Normally, the external affairs will do like that. Now, configure outgoing trust, configure incoming trust. I'm saying yes, yes, and the certification is created between two domain. Now, we just created our outgoing trust. We just created our incoming trust, and we can do a lot many things by hitting the properties, so you can validate the trust. Same here, same thing. Now, interesting thing is that we just created trusting here at TechEngineer TV, but coincidentally we recreated two Android classes also. So automatically you can create properties. It's already, you can find that it's created without we even do anything, we even make it any changes, but it's already available now. So this is what really interesting about this trusting, is that whatever we selected on our the domain where we actually configure the things, it's also bypassed, it's also copied all the settings in the respective domain. Since we already created an ADNS, we already give them ADNS rights. That's the reason the notifications are already there. Their credits are already there. Now we have to create one user now. Let me show the proof that whether trusting is there between the users or not, whether TechEngineer TV's user were able to log in from another class's domain client or not. So I'm just creating a user here, give a password, next, finish. Okay, so we just create a user. Now the thing is there on uses the client computer. So when you have to go with the client computer, I have to log off. Okay, Control Alt Delete, switch user, checker, give a password. Preparing desktop. Okay, so currently we are logging to the 7 machine as a checker, you can see. So this is TechEngineer's user, and now can we log in to the Stacker account from Android classes domain or not? Let me show you whether properties goes to computer. You can see this 7 machine is a member of the domain, which is TechEngineer.tv. Let me show whether this Android classes client were able to, whether this Stacker user able to log in from under classes computer nut tech engineer slash techer. You have to make sure the username will be on have a domain and username. Then have to give password. So under classes client computer should have login with techer user, and you can see the personalized settings. It means we are almost done. We're almost going to get the access. So make sure that you have to do a couple of things, which is username. Once you do a trusting, you have to then give a username properly. First the domain, then backslash username and the password. You can see techer error classes client computer. You can see the properties, and that techer is able to able to log in with the computers. You can see the domain errorclasses.com, which is the techer is actually a user of Tech Engineer TV, but able to log into the of domain of underclasses.com, because we just set a trusting, and we also made two corresponding two different domains, underclasses and Tech Engineer TV, both DNS. The active DNS, the preferred DNS, then the additional DNS. So we actually gave them DNS rights. That's the reason trust will be all more forward.